In this video, I want to talk about my own personal strategy, basically how I'm doing my trade and how I'm able to execute it and make the gains that I'm making. If you guys have been following me on Twitter or have joined the Telegram group, you should have seen all of the posts that I've done on all of the trades. As you guys can see, I'm nailing trade after trade, getting in right before the big pumps. It's a very good strategy, and that's exactly what we're gonna talk about in this video. This is gonna be my own personal strategy and how I'm trading. But in order to cover it properly so that you guys understand it, can execute it for yourself and make your own trades, we gotta start from the beginning. Here we have my current trades on the $1,000 challenge. Or well, I started with $100 at the beginning of the year, and then we've been trading every single week up until now, and here we are with over $1,000. It doesn't seem like a lot, but actually, since starting with $100, turning that into $1,000 is a 10x. Doing that in like 90 to 100 days is actually really good when trading, especially since we do risk management and keep our capital protected. The best trade we have here is up 120%, and as you can see, we put in a buy order, or well, a long position with 2x leverage just right before it pumped. Now it's up 120%, and most likely it's gonna continue to go up even more after this. We also have all of the other good positions in here, up around 10 or 20% per trade here, which is really good. You're stacking good trades on top of each other. We're trading with a very solid strategy, and we're sticking to it. Sticking to it, that is the important part here. So starting from the beginning, what actually is trading? Trading is PvP. It's you versus me and me versus all of you guys out there. It's not just you versus some random pleb. It's actually you versus professionals, and they will do everything in their power to get your money. That is something we need to keep in mind. As soon as you take your money and you put it into the market, that money is now up for grabs. As soon as your money enters the market, it can exit the market in someone else's hands. And just looking at it, at the end of the day, what are you actually doing when trading? You're putting a bet on what the price of a stock, or in this case a crypto or an altcoin, is going to be after some time. If you think it's going to go up, you put in a long position. If you think it's going to go down, you put in a short position. Now, there are a bunch of professionals, there are a bunch of whales, there are a bunch of normies and retails trying to trade on this market, but there are also a bunch of bots. Keeping all of this in mind and narrowing it down into one strategy, this is what I'm doing. One thing I always keep in mind is capital protection. I take my money and I make sure it's safe when trading. I don't trade with all of my money. I take a small portion of the entire capital and I trade with that. Usually up around 10% per trade, meaning that even if a trade goes bad, let's say it goes down 20%, then the total loss would only be 2% of the entire capital that I have. Trading is a numbers game. You're not just gonna do one good trade, you're gonna do hundreds of trades. And the success from all of those trades adds up over time. We are using the compounding effect of percentage-based gains. That is what makes you a good trader. Not just putting in one good solid trade and making $1 million, because that's gambling. We're not here to gamble. We're here to have a strategy, sticking to that strategy and making the money over time on repeat. So far, what do we have? We have PvP. This is you versus others, me versus you, everyone in one big battle. Then we have that this is actually betting, meaning that some of your trades will not perform well, but you need to be able to cancel that trade, move on with the loss and start a new one, making good trades over a long period of time, getting a good win rate. That is what will lead you into success into the future. So actually, it's a good thing if you don't have a lot of money right now. You can start trading with a small amount of money, get good in the market, make multiple good trades, get the experience and the feeling of being in the market, and then over time you will be able to turn that into a lot of money. And when turning that small amount of money into more money, over time you get the experience and the feeling of being in the market, and that will set you up for being able to trade with more money. You can think about it for yourself. If you don't have a lot of money, the actual thought of making a lot of money in the market is going to lead you into making bad decisions. Imagine you were sitting there with a trade, you just click one button and it could turn into $1 million or it could turn into zero. The pressure for you to time that click on a specific spot in the market, not knowing if it's going to go up or down, taking that bet, it's not gonna work. So you cannot bet on that. What you need to bet is on yourself and your own skills over time, with experience, getting good at trading. So start with a small amount of money and just play around in the market, get your strategy on point, and then when you start making money, over time your small amount will turn into a medium amount, will turn into a big amount of money. At the same time, just completely in sync with the experience that you're gaining. So your experience goes up, and your money goes up. But if you put in a bunch of money with no experience, you might just end up losing all of your money. So now the important part, let's talk about my own personal strategy. This is something I've developed over years. I started way back. I've been doing mining, I've been trading crypto, I've been making my own projects. I've done basically everything that you can do in crypto. Farming, staking, investing in projects, whatever. I've done it all. And here in the end, I'm here trading because that's what I'm gonna stick to over time. I've also developed my own indicator that I now use and stick to. The important part of a strategy is actually sticking to it. But if you don't have a strategy, how can you stick to it? You need to develop your own strategy. And how do we do that? We can actually look at the market and we can use other people's indicator. I'm gonna release my indicator someday. It's not there right now, but someday I'm probably gonna release it. So you could follow me on Twitter or on Telegram. I'm probably gonna announce it then. But right now I have not released my indicator. I'm using it personally to trade. Someday it's gonna be there, but not right now. At the end of the day, it's not a big deal because you can use any trend trading indicator. I've used the loss online indicator, I'm using my own, I've used other ones as well, and they do work because they teach you one very simple thing, and that's sticking to a strategy. So what you need to do is head into the market. You need to figure out an indicator that you can track, figure out a pattern that you can follow. If you want to do technical analysis, you can do that. Personally, I use a combination of technical analysis and my indicator. I play with the trends, I play with my indicator and the support and resistance levels. That's where I enter projects. I know where to put my stop losses. And that's how I've developed my strategy over time, over many years, and that's where I am right now. Okay, so let's look at some examples. We have Manta or MNT here that I recently put in a good trade that made over 120% in one trade. We might take some profits soon, but for now we're still in a solid uptrend. It's too soon to decide. We have a few very important things to go over, but we gotta start with the time frames. Do you trade on the 1 hour, the 4 hour, 8 hour, 12 hour, the daily or the weekly time frame? What you need to realize is that there are different people in different time frames. In the super fast time frames, we're talking 1 hour and below, we don't have people, we have bots. They're trading up and down, sideways, everywhere bots are trading. We don't want to be there. You're gonna be run over by 1,000 bots. Heading over to a slower time frame, not only will we be able to sleep at night because at a slower time frame, everything just moves a lot slower, and we need that for our own sanity. The absolute most fastest time frame that I trade in is the 4 hour time frame. Usually that's where I get the most solid and quickest repetitive good trades. And when I trade on the daily time frame, I usually trade for multiple weeks. That's usually when I follow the big bull runs. So let's look at a perfect example here. We have Mantle, or well, MNT, that I put in a trade here when the indicator turned green into an uptrend. It's actually a pretty solid trade, even if you do the technical analysis. We do have a support level here at 0.75, and we could see that it bounced. It did not break through the support level. I'm gonna put down a horizontal line right here so you guys can see it. At 0.75, there we have the support level. The project grew quite a bit and people took some profits. That's very natural. That's going to happen every time after a pump. It dipped all the way down to 0.75, hitting the support level, but it just touched it 2 times. And after touching it 2 times, it did not touch it again. We could see here that a new uptrend is forming. It did not fall down through the support level. Instead, it's heading for the resistance level. So where is that resistance level? We need to figure it out so we can put in a trade. We need to zoom in here a little bit. We could say that it's at 0.8, but actually it's bouncing up and down there quite a bit, so it's not 0.8. We look a little bit higher and we can see that it's actually 0.85, probably a number you did not expect, but that's exactly where it's at. You could say that it's at 0.9, but actually it doesn't really touch 0.9 at all. So I would say, since we have 1, 2, 3 small tiny touches here at 0.85, this is where we have our resistance level. We put another line here and we can see as soon as it broke the resistance level, it headed for a very strong pump. In this case, we were a bit lucky. Normally, it only goes for a solid uptrend and usually reaches about the same value anyways, so it would make the same amount of money. We were lucky in this case that it went so explosively fast, 120% gains in just one single day. But here's the interesting part. I've done so many trades like this, but over time, I've realized I can actually predict when this is going to happen using an indicator. And the indicator will also let me know if it's a fake out. As you can see here, the indicator actually notified us way before that it was gonna break through the resistance level. If it would have failed here and did not break through, the indicator would also let me know that it failed. And it would tell me that it's time to get my money out. As you can see here on the exchange, you can see that I put in the trade right here when the indicator notified me that we were heading into another uptrend. This is also the exact day where it broke through the resistance level. And after that, we were already in profit in the same day, and then we could just ride into this new uptrend. It's a very, very simple strategy, but it's the strategy that I enjoy trading the most. I use support levels, resistance levels, and I use my own indicator. Now Bitcoin pumped, and I was actually having my eyes on Bitcoin at the same time. It's really important. You do all of these altcoin trades, but you need to take your eyes and point them at Bitcoin at all times. If you don't do that, you could be setting up the biggest and best long position in your life. Right here, you have 3 indicators telling you it's go time, and then Bitcoin takes your money, drags it all the way down to hell, and you lose it all. So you need to keep an eye on more than one thing, not just one graph, in this case, Bitcoin as well. So now you have done trading for multiple weeks, you have done technical analysis, you have put money into the market, you have made money out of the market. What do you do now? You start looking at an own strategy, developing your own strategy. The only way to develop your strategy is to listen to yourself. What way do you enjoy trading the most? Let me show you how I came to the conclusion of what tools to use for myself personally. I actually bought the Lawson line. I can show it to you guys right here. There we go. On this time frame, on the 4-hour time frame, I actually think the Lawson line is too slow. The Lawson line is a very solid trading tool. As you can see, it followed this trend all the way up here, but I wanted a faster indicator, so I developed my own instead. And as you can see, we nailed this short right here and we nailed this pump right here. But you will have to figure out your own style of trading. And here's the important part. This is the next and final step in making it in trading. So what you then do is you take your strategy and you do backtesting on hundreds of graphs on crypto, on stocks, and you just look at all of it and see how your strategy would perform. Then when you have figured out a solid strategy with a solid win rate, over time, over a long amount of time, we're looking multiple years, then you can finally take your strategy and put it into action. And that is what you can see exactly here with these trades. I'm sticking to my strategy. No matter what my gut is trying to tell me that I should pull out or not put in this trade, I'm sticking to my strategy. And as you can see, it's working. So the big question, how much money will you make with a strategy like this? Let's say you actually take profits at 10%. If you look at my trades, it's actually not that hard to get above 10% in crypto, especially since some just randomly 100% gains. But if we take those 10% just to calculate what you will be making, let's say you start with $1,000 after you have done all the first steps, you have $1,000, 1% per day over an entire year. That's 37x. That's your money 37x. That's absolutely epic. I've been doing this for quite a while, and every single day there are new opportunities, and I'm mostly just trading the top 100 coins on CoinMarketCap. I'm sharing my own personal trades in the Telegram group and on X, so follow me there. Thank you so much for watching. Good luck out in the market, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.